Jai Hind, greeting of the day. I am Ajay Kumar Jaina, Assistant Professor in Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Swami Vivekananda Suvarthi University. I will talk you basic topics of mechanical engineering. One of the basic topic of mechanical engineering, design of machine element. In that, I'll touch upon the things. One is design definition, design philosophy, design procedure, design requirements. So abstractly, the term design is very abstract, and in general way, while we are talking about the design of a sari, a woman is wearing, that means it is a look, appealing look to a customer. But there are inherent characteristics in that sari. There are inherent properties of that sari, technically, like fabric of that material used, and all the colors used for that sari matters. Technically, design definition is a process of determining the characteristic of a system with the help of technical information, scientific principle. First one is with the help of a scientific principle, technical information, and the imagination of a designer to do a particular kind of function with a maximum economy and efficiency. This is the definition of a machine design. Machine design is a process of determining the characteristic of a mechanical system. In mechanical system, it may be a fan or an element of a fan also. You can say that fan rod, the blades of the fan, the rotor of the fan, that matters. Here the terms are in this definition, they are scientific principles. With the use of scientific principles, what are the principles? Scientific principles. There are three axioms principles: conservation of mass, conservation of energy, conservation of momentum. Basically, scientific principles are Newton's laws, D'Alembert's principle, gas laws, Bernoulli's laws. All these are laws we'll use to determine the characteristic. In characteristic, there are characteristic means properties, response, behavior of the system. Knowing the characteristic we are using at a particular application. So this is very important. These are the characteristic. This is scientific principle is very preliminary term. And next is technical information. What is the technical information about that fan rod or fan blade? What are the material? What is the combination of the chemical composition of that material? These are the technical information about that system or mechanical blade, fan blade. Another thing, imagination. So imagination is very important while designing. Imagination means intuitions. You may call it intuitions. So while general common sense, imagination, that is very important also. With a maximum efficiency, resource available, if you are producing with a maximum efficiency and optimum economy, with minimum economy, you can say, without less cost, very cost effective product you are designing. So it is a process of determining the characteristic of a mechanical system with the help of scientific principle, technical information, imagination to perform a specific function with a maximum economy and efficiency. This is the definition of machine design. Now comes to design philosophy. In design philosophy, various authors, various papers have suggested that while you are designing something or some product, there are a hierarchy of needs. So these are the very basic requirements, basic needs of design. While you are designing a new product, while you are designing a existing product, while you are designing a very innovative product. First one is this is Abraham Maslow's 5 A's. One is survival. If you are developing a product, that product should survive. First of all, survival. Survive for a particular specific period of time with intended function. It will serve the intended function with a specific time, specific time period. This is survival. When survival is taken care of, then we'll go for the security of that product. Security of that product. In security, one you know that security is very second hierarchy comes in the second hierarchy while we are designing security. Suppose you are designing a fan rod or a fan, so there may be security. You will paint it so that external contamination will not be there. Rusting of the fan will not be there. Rusting of the so we have to make it coated. That is security while you are designing a product. So you should take care of security of that product. Without security, survival will not be guaranteed. So will not be guaranteed. Next thing is while you are designing a product, you will design it to make it a market social acceptance. That you will not design the random shape of the blade. If you are designing, you will see the what are the symbols used in the community. And it will not harm the community. So you will design a particular particular profile of the blade so that with a maximum output, maximum function it will serve, but it will not harm the faith of the community. I am giving an example. I think I have found recollection that there is a manufacturer of toilet basin that it make that design the lips of the woman. That is in Germany, I think one company designed, and suddenly the women of that community of that region suddenly opposed and agitated, and that product went away, just obsolete, no longer in use. So you have to take care of that social acceptance, whether the society will accept it or not. Second, this is the third thing, and then fourth thing is status. While you are designing a product, you should think about it is it will become a market leader. You will make it a market leader. This is also the need of the product, that it always should be market leader. That is called status. Similarly, last one is self-fulfillment. While you are designing a product, there should be some flexibility in the product. In near future, you can modify it and it will do that function easily. There is some flexibility, self-improvement in that product. So these are the 5 A's, Maslow's 5 A's for designing of any product. Now, what is the basic procedures of machine design? While designing, we should go step by step. It is a step by step and systematic process. So first step, you have to look for the market survey. What are the products available? If you are designing a existing product, what are the existing product with much efficiency? You have to go for the market survey. In market survey, you will see that customers feedback, you will see customers requirement, how customers are looking at that product, and you should also know how demand is there in that locality, in that market. How demand of that product is very important. You should, if there is no demand, why should I go for designing such a product? So design and demand is very important also. Similarly, you will see second is first one is market survey, then specifications. You will study the specifications of that product. Suppose you are going for a design of a new fan, so you'll first of all you see that how the demand of that fan in the locality, in that community, in that area, in that region. You'll see that. Then specification, you will go for the specification studies. In specification study, we are doing that, we are looking at what are the specifications, what is the motor power, what electrical power it is consuming, what is the swap area of that, what is the radius of the blade, what are the material, how noise is producing, what is the noise level of that fan. These are the specifications. And looking to that specification, we'll analyze the mechanism. We'll go for the finding alternative mechanisms available. From alternative mechanism, we'll go for what? We'll go for designing a suitable mechanism. Then after mechanism, we'll go for assembly of the after mechanism we'll go for after mechanism we'll go for the assembly, then the individual components design of individual component, then we'll go for assembly, then we'll go for drawing of that product, then we'll go for the manufacturing of that product, then again we'll set it to the market, we'll give it to the market, we'll take the feedback. If you see that this is a cyclic process, the procedure is a cyclic process. Machine design procedure is a cyclic process. Always, if you want to improve in that product, there will be a cyclic process. These are the procedures in machine design. It should be taken into consideration. Next is a requirement. Suppose you are designing a element. Requirement may be different for a machine. Individual, if we talk about the individual components requirement, then whole machine can be, because machine is a combination of elements. To do a particular kind of work, taking energy as input. So individual, while designing an individual component, we should requirement. What is the requirement of that product? First one is strength of the product, and there should be given strength of the product, so it can withstand that load. Whatever the load is applicable on that product, it can withstand. That is your strength. Then rigidity. With optimum rigidity, we should have a particular rigidity of that product. After rigidity, wear resistance. That product should resist wear and tear. So that is also wear and tear of the wear resistance. Then the requirement is, fourth requirement is minimum weight and dimensions. So you will choose will select a product which will give a necessary function or a specific function or desired function with minimum weight and dimension. That is also a requirement of a designing a product. And fifth one is machinability of that product. That material, that product can be machined. Then maintainability of that product should be maintained, well maintained, with less cost. That is called maintainability of that product. And conforming to the standards, the product you are designing must conform to the standards available. Suppose you are making a fan, there should be nuts and bolts you are providing, that should be with standard size, because if standard size will not be available, then I have to manufacture that. If it is available, then it will go, it will serve our purpose. While instead of designing nut and bolts, new setup is required. So if standard holes we have to make, and standard dimension of that is reliability of the product is very important. Also we have to see the reliability of the product. That product should be reliable. That is the probability of the product to serve satisfactorily for intended period of time with that load. That is the probability without any failure. Reliability without probability of a product to serve the intended function with a specific period of time without failure. That is the probability. Warranty we are providing in the product, that gives a trust, that develops a trust among the customers. And life cycle, good life cycle, that after serving it will decompose, it will not give environmental pollution, eco-friendly hona chahiye. That means I am talking about the product you will design looking to the recyclability, that it can be easily recyclable. Otherwise, what will happen if you will, after intended service, you will throw it somewhere. What will happen? It will degrade the soils, if it will degrade your environment, then you will take care of that thing also. That is called life cycle.